Hey everybody, I'm Todd Banner. Welcome to my channel. I'm sitting out here in the backyard. It's a hot summer afternoon, not super hot. It's 89 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 point something Celsius. Nowhere near as hot as what they're having to deal with over in Europe and parts of Africa and India. There's quite a few heat waves going on right now, kind of way more than I think is normal. But there's a reason for that. I might do a video about that as far as it actually affects doing travel photography. But what I was thinking about over the past few days was, what we've gone through in the past couple of years with the pandemic, which is ongoing, and this is not over, folks. But with travel not being really possible or greatly restricted, and if you're a photographer and you're a nature photographer, what do you do when you can't travel, you can't go to places other than around your area to do photography? And one of the things I did very early on when we moved into this house was replace our lawn. Actually, here in the backyard, this backyard was concrete, almost the entire backyard. There were a couple of flower beds, and it tilted towards the house. So as you may imagine, water flows downhill. That was not a good thing. So I had to pay a contractor to come in here and jackhammer most of the concrete out of here. We left one little space for a table, and I'm sitting on it. But the rest of the backyard I converted into a native plant garden. And so my suggestion is that if you're interested in doing nature photography of smaller organisms and plants that are native to your area, and by smaller organisms I mean insects and birds, of course. We actually get quite a few birds in our garden. In fact, over here I'm going to show you. We have this plant. Let's see if I can do this. This plant right here, which is flowering, and I'm going to tell you what. Pick it up, show it to you. This is germander, and it's a native. Germanders live in North America and also in the Old World, in Europe and Asia. This is the North American germander. It's in the mint family, and this attracts not only wild bees like bumblebees and mason bees, and actually a bee called the wool carder bee, carder, C-A-R-D-E-R, which is actually not native to North America. Evidently, somehow accidentally got introduced here many decades ago, but it's made itself right at home. Also, hummingbirds. So we have a hummingbird, and she's usually here first thing in the morning before it gets bright enough to get her picture. Little stinker. But it's a perennial, comes up every year, and pretty much low maintenance. Planting a native garden, plants native to your area, it not only does it make it possible for you to just walk out your door and photograph things that are native to your area, and some that aren't, it also helps pollinators. And if you're paying attention, you know that there's been a decline in insects overall and things like wild bees. Honeybees actually aren't as, the population's actually been rising, but honeybees are native to the Old World. They're not really native to North America and South America. So we've had our bee populations decreasing, and I've actually noticed this. I've noticed that there are not as many wild pollinators, and in this neighborhood, they kind of flock here, so we're pulling in from all over. The other thing that you can do actually to help pollinators, and I'll show you, photograph this, is I'm going to show you this. This is a bee house. So that is, there's a bunch of tubes in there for solitary bees to build little nests in and lay their eggs, and we've had several do that. I'm essentially trying to say is this, if you're going to be a nature photographer, you have to be concerned about nature, and there's a lot of reasons to be concerned about nature. So if you're interested in planting a garden of plants native to your area, there's probably are garden shops and nurseries in your area that they either specialize in native plants or they have a section full of native plants. Now the other thing is, here in the Midwest, we typically have dry summers, so our native prairie perennials and even our woodland plants are relatively well adapted to longer periods of dryness, so you don't have to water as much. So that's cool, because water usage is becoming a thing as well. But it's been just really pleasant having this little piece of native Illinois in our backyard and in our front yard as well. So last week, I think it was Thursday, it rained all day, which is, again, unusual to get a really long stretch of rain in July, August here. But it rained all day, which is good, because we really needed it. The farms needed it. Everything that was looking a little wilty came back. But I took a break. I should say that when the rain took a break, I came out with my G9, and I had my Lumix 35 to 100 f2.8. And I also had the Canon 500D close-up dual element close-up lens, which I did a video about previously. I'll link to that in the end title. And right after a rain is a great time to come out and do nature photography, because the overcast helps the colors be saturated, and you have drops of water dripping off the plants. So here's a little video of that day, and hopefully you like it. If you do, pop the like button. That's a big help to me. Any questions and comments, pop them down below. I answer them as soon as possible. I'm Todd Banner, and I will see you next time. Here's the video. Thank you.